Hello everyone, welcome to Box Office Receipts. I'm your host Tyler Callahan, and we got a lot of news to go over. We got the Oscar award winners, we got the latest box office news, filming, as well as streaming updates. Let's kick off with the domestic top 5. Universal had a great weekend both at the box office and at the Oscars. We'll talk about the Oscars in a bit, but taking a look at the domestic top 5, Kung Fu Panda 4 opened to $58.3 million, which came in a few million higher than what analysts were expecting. In second place was Dune Part 2 with $46 million, for a total of $157 million. Third place was Imaginary, which debuted to $10 million. In fourth place was Cabrini, which came in with $7.5 million for its opening weekend. And in fifth place was Bob Marley One Love with $4.1 million for a total of $89.3 million. So yeah, families definitely came out to see Poe again, and as long as they are decent holds, will have a solid run at the box office. Dune, meanwhile, tries to get to $200 million, which might still be possible. We'll see. It will be losing premium screens in a few weeks, so it could be a bit tougher. Now in China, the crime drama The Pig, the Snake, and the Pigeon came in first place with 21 million for a total now of 53.4 million. Right behind it in second place was Dune Part 2, which opened to 19.6 million. So yeah, Dune already seems to be one of the few Hollywood films these days to have a stronger performance, and IMAX reports that around 6.5 million of the weekend total came from their screens. In third place was a new film called I Miss You, which debuted 13.4 million. Fourth place was Article 20, which earned 8.3 million for a total of 330.4 million. And in fifth place was Pegasus 2 with 6.7 million for a total of $463 million. Taking a look at international numbers, Kung Fu Panda 4 earned 22.2 million for a worldwide opening of 80.5 million. Now, it did only open in 41 markets, as reported by Deadline, so it still has a bit more to go in regards to its international rollout. Dune Part 2 continues to do well, earning 81 million for a worldwide total of 367.5 million. So yeah, it's absolutely gonna hit $500 million at least. Madame Web earned 1.8 million for a worldwide total of 96.6 million. It's crazy how this will actually pass $100 million. Bob Marley One Love earned another 4.9 million for a worldwide total now of 160.5 million. Poor Things is now at 108.4 million. Anyone But You is at 212 million. And Mean Girls is at $104.3 million worldwide. We got some release date news from Universal. The action movie from 87 North, starring Ke Huy Quan, has a name and date called With Love. It is set to come out February 7th, 2025. Also from Universal and Illumination. And this is a shocker, believe me, we have a release date for another Super Mario Bros. Movie. I know, they're making a sequel. Now, the way it's worded is it's not the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, just that it's a new animated film based on Super Mario Bros. But look, unless it is said otherwise, I'm going to assume it's a sequel. That is set to come out April 3rd, 2026. From Sony, they have titled the third Venom movie, now called Venom: The Last Dance, and with a new release date of October 25th, moving up from November. I like that, as the previous two came out in October, keeping it nice and simple. From Searchlight, they have set Kinds of Kindness to come out June 21st. This is Yorgos Lanthimos' next film that also stars Emma Stone as well as Willem Dafoe. They both just recently worked with him on Poor Things, which we're going to talk about in the Oscar news. The cast also includes Jesse Plemons, Hong Chow, Margaret Qualley, and Hunter Schafer. Poor Things was the first movie I watched from Lanthimos, which I enjoyed, so I'm looking forward to this. But I also have to catch up on his previous work as well. And from Warner Brothers, some films have been moved around with the biggest being the Batman Part 2 being delayed a year. It is now coming out October 2026. In its place will be The Bride, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal and starring Christian Bale. It'll come to theaters on October 3rd, 2025. It sucks that the Batman is getting a pretty big delay, but look, the first one was great. I prefer they take their time for the sequel. Alto Night, starring Robert De Niro, has been pushed back again, now coming out March 21st, 2025. And Paul Thomas Anderson's next film, which stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Regina Hall, is set to come out August 8th next year. We did get one new trailer this week, and that is from Lionsgate for The Crow remake, which stars Bill Skarsgård. Coming from South by Southwest, we got a lot of movie premieres, and with that, some reviews. From Dev Patel, Monkey Man has gotten rave reviews, and it is at an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Fall Guy from David Leitch, and starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, also got good reviews, and is at an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, with people calling it a tribute to Hollywood's stunt people. As for Alex Garland's latest film, Civil War, the critics at least seem to love it, with it also at an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. Will the general audience like it is still up in the air. The lowest rated one seems to be the horror movie Immaculate, with it at a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, but critics do say the star Sydney Sweeney puts in a great performance. Sadly, we did have a few deaths. Michael Culver died at the age of 85. He was an actor who appeared in numerous shows and films, including A Passage to India, Sherlock Holmes, and in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. He was the commander who Darth Vader force-choked to death in the film. David Seidler has died at the age of 86 while fly fishing in New Zealand. He is most known for winning an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for The King's Speech, which came out back in 2010. Joe Camp has died at the age of 84 after a prolonged illness. He started the family film franchise Benji back in the 70s, where he directed, wrote, and produced the first film, as well as sequels including For the Love of Benji and Benji the Hunted. David Berishers has died at the age of 68. He co-directed and co-produced an IMAX documentary called Everest that came out back in 1998. Robin Bernard has died at the age of 64. She was most known for her role as Terry Brock in soap opera General Hospital in the 1980s. Stuntman Grant Page has died at the age of 85 due to a car crash. He worked on stunts for numerous films, including the upcoming Furiosa film. Dan Wakefield died at the age of 91. He wrote the screenplay for the film Going All the Way, as well as created the TV drama James at 15, which aired in the 70s. Sam Mercer died at the age of 69 due to early onset Alzheimer's. He was either a producer or executive producer on numerous films, including The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, The Village, The BFG, and Snow White and the Huntsman, to name a few. And finally, Gerald Levin died at the age of 84. He has been dealing with Parkinson's disease. Levin was the former CEO of Time Warner and was in charge when Time Warner and AOL merged in 2001. It has been considered one of the worst mergers in history, and Levin stepped down as CEO in 2002. Thoughts and prayers go out to their families during this time, and may they rest in peace. Also, fuck Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. In other terrible news this week, Olivia Munn announced on Instagram that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer last year and has since done 4 surgeries for it. Hopefully she continues to recover and beats it. As always, fuck cancer. And in Studio City, a fire broke out that destroyed a mansion that was owned by Cara Delevingne, with 2 people injured, a firefighter and someone who was in the mansion at the time of the fire. Delevingne was not there when it happened. Hopefully those 2 make a speedy recovery. Taking a look at films in development, Neve Campbell announced that she will return to reprise her role as Sidney Prescott in the upcoming 7th Scream film. I take it after what happened last year, Spyglass decided to up their pay offer to get Campbell to come back, which was a smart move since that's the only way to get people interested in a Scream 7 at this point. The Hollywood Reporter broke the news that DC Studios is in very early development of a live-action Teen Titans film, with Anna Nogueira signed on to write the screenplay. I will say they must be loving her work so far, and she is currently in the process of writing the script for Supergirl. In an exclusive from Deadline, they are reporting that A24 and Star Thrower Entertainment will team up on a new movie called Eternity. The rom-com will be directed by David Frayne and will star Miles Teller, Elizabeth Olsen, and Callum Turner. And in another movie in development at A24, we got a big casting update on Ari Aster's next project called Eddington. All we knew was that Joaquin Phoenix would star in it. Now we know it will include an all-star cast. The cast now includes Emma Stone, Pedro Pascal, Austin Butler, and Clifton Collins Jr., among others. Production is set to start this week. Over at Amazon MGM Studios, Deadline broke the news on a new holiday film called The Man with the Bag. It will star Arnold Schwarzenegger and Alan Ritchson, with Adam Shankman directing. It is set to begin filming later in the year. Now let's talk about the Oscars overall. I thought it was a great show, with a highlight definitely being Ryan Gosling singing I'm Just Ken. As for the winners, there were some surprises, but for the big ones, it kind of went as expected. Oppenheimer overall won 7 awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Supporting Actor. So yes, Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy, and Robert Downey Jr. finally won their Oscars. Right behind it was Poor Things, which won 4 Oscars, with the biggest being Best Actress. That's right, Emma Stone did beat out Lily Gladstone for the award, and this is one of the few awards this season where it was almost a toss-up on who would actually win it. The Zone of Interest won 2 awards, including Best International Feature Film. Other highlights include Anatomy of a Fall winning Best Original Screenplay, Godzilla Minus One winning Best Visual Effects, and The Boy and the Heron won Best Animated Feature. As for distributors, Universal came in first thanks to the 7 wins for Oppenheimer, and Searchlight came in second place thanks to the 4 wins for Poor Things. Now on the production side, Film 4 in the UK did really well, because technically they got 6 wins as they helped produce both Poor Things and The Zone of Interest. So yeah, overall a great awards season with fantastic films. Let's start off VOD Premium with Paramount, where they have gone ahead and sold their 13% stake in Viacom 18 to Reliance, and they got a good return on it, getting paid $517 million for it. This will help them in their financial situation as they look to pay off more of their debt. The Hollywood Reporter has the exclusive on this story, and that is the creator of the upcoming series X-Men 97, Bayo DeMayo, has been fired. This comes as the revival of the hit animated X-Men series is about to debut on Disney+. It is not yet clear why he was fired, with the only details coming out that he has finished his work on seasons 1 and 2 of the show. For Disney Plus in Asia, a new series called A Shop for Killers is doing good numbers, with it now the most viewed original for the streamer in the Asia Pacific region. The series is 8 episodes long, and if you are in the United States, you can watch it on Hulu. At Hulu, The Bear has been renewed for a 4th season. Deadline broke the news, and on top of that, the plan is to film season 3 and 4 back-to-back, which is a smart move as the cast are starting to get offers for other projects. This will help them stay available for those offers while also continue the show. And for the upcoming 4th season of Only Murders in the Building, the cast continues to grow, with Zach Galifianakis set to join. At Max, they have extended their US licensing deal with Studio Ghibli. This means that the Academy Award winner The Boy and the Heron will stream exclusively on Max in the US at some point in the future. And we got an answer on the Salem's Lot film that has been stuck in limbo for almost 2 years, and that is it'll be going straight to streaming, with it coming to Max at some point in 2024. As for what is out now on Max, a new show called The Girls on the Bus has premiered and so far has okay reviews, with it at a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 64 on Metacritic. Ahead of March Madness, Warner Bros. Discovery is offering a sale on the annual subscriptions for Max, looking to lock in some more long-term subscribers. The deal is 30% off any annual plan, and it runs until April 8th, and it is for everyone, new and current subscribers. At AMC, they have gone and rescued a show that was a victim of the cost-cutting moves post-Warner Bros. Discovery merger. The show is Snowpiercer. You may remember that the show was canceled, even though the 4th and final season was in development. Over the past year, it has been shopped around, and AMC have bought it. So the plan now is the first 3 seasons will be available to watch on AMC and AMC Plus later this year, with the final season premiering in early 2025. Personally, I haven't watched the show, but I am glad fans of it will be able to see the proper end for it. At Starz, the first spin-off of their hit show Power will be ending with its upcoming 4th season. Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 will be split into 2 parts, with Part 1 coming out on June 7th and Part 2 premiering on September 6th. But don't worry, because it was also announced this week that a new spin-off is in development. This one is a prequel series called Origins. Roku has disclosed a breach of users' accounts. The breach affected 15,363 accounts where unauthorized individuals were able to access those accounts, with some also trying to purchase subscriptions using said accounts. The company has secured the accounts by requiring the account owners to reset their passwords. They will also be conducting an investigation to see if any unauthorized purchases were made from the accounts affected. At Apple TV Plus, a new comedy series is in development. Coming from Jason Keller, it is a comedy about a professional golfer past his prime who will be played by Owen Wilson. For the upcoming sports streaming joint venture, a CEO has been named, with Peter Destad taking the helm. Destad has a lot of experience in the streaming field, having worked at marketing and distribution at Hulu, and recently worked at Apple, leading business and operations for Apple TV+. He'll be running the joint venture out of offices that will be set up in Los Angeles. He does seem like a good pick, and I'm hoping we can get a name for this soon, besides just calling it a joint venture. Pretty boring. At Prime Video, Deadline broke the news on a new sports documentary that has been ordered. This one will focus on the former NBA player Allen Iverson and will be directed by 1/9 and produced by Jersey Legends and Unanimous Media. Now let's wrap up with Netflix, where Lisa McGee's upcoming show, How to Get to Heaven from Belfast, will be switching homes. The new show from the creator of Dairy Girls was originally set up at Channel 4, however, it was switched to going to the streamer instead, with production set to begin later this year. As for why, well, Channel 4 sent Variety a statement saying the reasons were due to rising costs, as well as a change in editorial direction. Netflix released a trailer for their upcoming sci-fi film Atlas. Directed by Brad Penton, it stars Jennifer Lopez, Simu Liu, and Sterling K. Brown. It is set to premiere on May 24th. And we have the latest streaming numbers for Netflix's top 10 for the week of March 4th to the 10th. Damsel, starring Millie Bobby Brown, debuted in first place on the English film chart with 35.3 million views. Code 8 Part 2 came in second place with 11.9 million views, and Spaceman came in third with 10.8 million views. On the TV side, The Gentleman debuted in first place on the English TV chart with 12.2 million views. Avatar: The Last Airbender came in second place with 9.1 million views, and in third place was The Program, Cons, Cults, and Kidnapping with 7.1 million views. And that's it for this episode of Box Office Receipts. If you want to follow me on Threads, X, or Instagram, links for those are in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.